This week's Michigan Lottery Excellence in Education winner is Liz Young-Love from Leroy. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
We have a video from your nominator. Let's take a look.
Awesome.
Hello, my name is Jeremy DeVos. I'm the principal at Pine River Elementary School, and I'm here to talk to you about why I nominated Liz Young-Love for the Excellence in Education Award. There's 15 to 20 second clip does not even paint the picture that it's appropriate for this award, but some highlights of Liz in the classroom. She teaches third grade. Her creativity is outstanding. She comes up with some really good ideas of how to take Michigan history or anything Michigan related and bring it to classroom. Last year, for example, she did some stuff about maple syrup construction and history of that throughout the state, and she actually tapped some maple trees right here on the property and collected that sap with the students and then boiled that sap down and talked about all of how that's connected to Michigan and its history. And then they even took that one step further and went to a local farm and saw it on a bigger scale. So the kids got a front row seat to what's going on around them in their community. She also does a fantastic job with connecting with struggling students. She goes above and beyond to come up with creative ways to get them engaged in the classroom and engage with their peers. I could go on and on and on, but I was only told to stick around a minute, and I think I'm already over. So I'm going to have to leave it at that. Congratulations, Liz. We're very proud of you, and keep up the good work.
Liz, that was your principal. That's gotta feel great.
It does. Yes. It's not the first time I've heard those things, but it does feel good to hear that.
He talked about creativity and the things that you do with your students. Talk about that. And how do you get these ideas?
Yeah, so usually it's just based off the students and the things that they grab onto, because every year can be different and the curriculum stays the same. But one of the big hits in third grade is Michigan history. And so actually, the maple syrup unit kind of came about just randomly because we started talking about the importance of the maple trees in early exploration. And one of the students noticed that as we were tracking some individuals in their movement through Michigan, just how close it was to our hometown. And they were like, Mrs. Younglove, that's really close to us. And so we just started talking about it, and it just kind of spiraled into tapping our trees right on the property and then boiling out the classroom window. That might have went over a few times, but that's okay. And then I live right by a maple syrup farm, and they were like, yeah, come on in. And it's just fun to see it connect to the students' real world because you can sit and teach them out of a book. But once they actually get to experience it, it's something that they don't forget.
Had you ever done that personally before?
I had watched it, yes.
Okay.
Yep. And I had helped collect sap and that kind of stuff. But being able to see it from my students' eyes was just something that was different. Watching them run up the hill carrying buckets of sap and eating the pancakes after and watching from start to finish was really cool.
You got to hope that they're going to carry that with them for their entire life, that they'll remember that time that they did that.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting.
So you are in a new role this year. You went from third grade teacher to K-5 literary coach. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I had my first son in March, and I knew I wanted to stay in the education system in some way, shape, or form. But the reason I went into education was to make change in kids. And I can't give 5 days a week to other people's kids if I'm not giving that time to my own child. And so we were able to kind of split it up where I'm working just part-time. But now I get to impact teachers in a different way and seeing how I can help them take the things that I learn and I'm continuing to learn and put those towards their own students. So the impact is a little different and it's been a transition, but it's been really exciting to watch teachers learn and take the things that I did in the classroom or other people shared with me and being able to put those in with their students now.
What do you think is the most important thing about what you do as a teacher?
Yeah, I think it's just impacting students and wherever they are in life. And I think that so many students come into the classroom with so many different backgrounds and life experiences. And it's not about putting out cookie cutter kids. It's about impacting them wherever they are in whatever way that is. And sometimes that's academic and sometimes that's personal. But I just think that the opportunity that teachers have to impact kids is really important.
Talk about when you see that impact made. What's that like for you when that child's eyes lights up because they figure it out for the first time?
Yeah, I think it's a good reminder of why we do it. There can be hard days, there can be good days when you're teaching, but when you sit and watch a kid finally get something that they've been struggling with, and it might not be an academic problem, it could be a struggle with a friend or coming to school in general. And once that hits with them, it's really fun just to be reminded of why we do what we do. And no hard day is going to change the impact. And so being able to continue to come day after day and seeing those things and knowing that the hard work matters. But the kids are putting in the hard work too. It's not just the teachers.
So did you always want to be a teacher? You grew up in the town that you're actually teaching in.
Yeah, so I did not. I grew up in an education family. So my mom is an educator. My sisters are educators. And I did not want to go into education. But every single one of my immediate family members work with kids. And I knew that I wanted to do something with kids, but I was very against education and got into college and started volunteering in Special Olympics. And I was like, all right, I think that's the direction that we're going. And so I made that switch partway through college, and it's been great.
Fast forward 10 years from now, you're out and about, you run into a former student. What do you hope that student says to you about their experience in your classroom?
Yeah, I hope, and sometimes I don't know if this would necessarily be something that somebody would say, but that they can look at me in public and know that I cared about them as a person more than as just a student in a class, but just as who they are as a person, and that I was able to encourage them and care for them through whatever they were going through in life.
Well, thank you for what you do. You are
thank you.
making a difference. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Liz from Pine River Area Elementary receives a $2,000 check from Lottery Commissioner Susanna Shkreli. Excellence in Education Awards sponsored by the Michigan Lottery, providing more than $29 billion to public education since 1972.